Hello, my AWA lunatics. Mike Napier here, welcoming you to another edition of The Verbal Assault, where we get an earful from the men and women who make up the Assault Wrestling Alliance. This time, we are entering pro wrestling's darkest hour, because I'm chatting with AWA's own Rose Division champion, Mother Endless. But before we hop into the interview, a quick reminder that coming up on December 17th is AWA's next show, Cold War Christmas. Titles are on the line, battle lines are drawn, and the landscape of 2023 for AWA is decided. All these amazing matchups and a canned food drive for those in need this holiday season. See the description below for how to get your tickets and come on out. And with that out of the way, let's hear from the Endless One, and hope she doesn't strangle me through the internet. So, Mother, we're only a few weeks out from Halloween. How was your spookums this year?
Every day is Halloween for Mother Endless, so I celebrated it as I do any other day. You know, ultra-violence, suffering.
Preferred candy?
Preferred candy? I do have a bit of a sweet tooth. Dark chocolate.
Oh, excellent choice, excellent choice. Dark chocolate peanut butter, good combo. But around that time, also, I noticed that you were at Baltimore Comic Con. I didn't get to go this year, but how was it?
It was quite an enjoyable showing.
Every time I'm always there, I always get awkwardly stuck behind a cosplayer with the most elaborate of costumes. So any of that going on this year?
Actually, I did not see very many large builds this year, no.
Really?
There wasn't as much costuming as I've seen in the past. However, there were plenty of people asking me who I was dressed up as, which I found quite amusing.
I once got stuck in a line behind a naked guy, body painted as Archangel. Just a thing that happened to me once, and I get to live with it.
Indeed.
So, all that aside, you'll be back at the Assault Asylum on December 17th, defending against
Oh,
Olivia
yes.
Devine. And she was one of your original competitors when you all were vying for the title you now proudly own. So, what are you thinking of this matchup?
I think that it will be quite interesting. We've had plenty of time apart to consider one another's strategies in the ring. So I do expect her to bring some new things to the ring. And don't forget, it wasn't the entire time that she and I came face to face. So, although I don't plan on letting go of my championship, I do expect it to be an intense battle.
How long do you foresee that reign lasting?
Oh, I have no plans of ever giving up that title. Make no mistake, I will be the first and the last holder of the Rose Division Championship.
So, since you will be captain of the ship, as it were, how would you like to see the women's division grow? What would you like to see out of it?
I want competitors from all over to come to the Assault Asylum. Show us what you're made of. The arena is here for you.
Now, I have heard rumblings that there are a lot of brave women signing up to face you for that title, so word should land well. I know Olivia Devine has made it known she's not threatened. I imagine that confidence kind of makes you step up a little bit.
Indeed, her size and her power are nothing to be trifled with, but I've got plenty of tricks up my sleeve that she could never imagine.
Painful ones, I can personally imagine. Um,
But of course,
we know how you do. Um, but I also know that you are a proponent of intergender wrestling. Is that something you would like to see come to AWA, and who would you like to face?
absolutely. I think a competitor should be judged by their willingness to step up to battle. We have no differences in our size classes, so why in our sex classes? If we want to fight, let us fight.
I know I would definitely like to see some of that happen. Always unique when it does take place, and I it's nice seeing exactly how equal things can be. Um,
Indeed.
but speaking of people who'd face, what about would you face Funny Bone? No, you guys have kind of a hate love hates thing going on with whatever that is.
You know, champions tend to draw other champions to them. I can't speak too much on the situation at hand. However, Funnybone is no stranger to violence, and neither am I. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now.
Intriguing, intriguing, and slightly unsettling. Um, Speaking of you and Funny Bone, last time we saw you, you two made a violent duo. It was during the cage match between Funny Bone and Anthony Athens. You for one were keeping a very ready supply of weapons coming throughout the match, which just got me thinking: what is your favorite weapon to use? How does it speak to you?
Absolutely, my favorite weapon is my kendo stick that I bring with me to the ring. I love the sound of wood smacking against wet skin. Don't you?
I'm not the one being interviewed. how how often do you implement such a weapon against, let's say, referees? There's been talk that you and refs don't quite see eye to eye.
There has come from time to time when a referee and I didn't see eye to eye. Generally, I do my very best to respect the stripes. Our referees are sacred to what we do, and we could not do it without their presence. But occasionally, there's one or two of them that just makes a mistake, an incorrect call in the moment, a lapse in judgment, perhaps. And, well, sometimes you have to sort things out immediately. It's just business, you see.
Yeah, I guess that when you put it that way, it makes a sort of sense. I spoke to our new AWA commissioner, Bill Alfonso, and he, of course, is a longtime former top-notch ref. Do you think he's going to respond well to those disagreements?
Let's just say that we're going to trust his judgment to always be sound.
Felt like there was a silent or else at the end of that.
No, I heard
Kind
nothing. I'm not sure
kind
what
of,
you're insinuating.
kind of, just nothing. Just a tiny little. Okay, I don't want you to get anything incriminating while we're recording this. But outside of butting heads with authority figures in AWA, what are some other places you'd actually like to work that you haven't had a chance to yet?
I would love to visit the West Coast, go out to Hoodslam. That would be an epic adventure. There's also, a few other places in California I'd like to visit. I would love to travel with XPW, for whom I just debuted, to California to face some most intense, ultra-violent opponents.
You and XPW get along beautifully when I saw that combination. How was Jody Threat?
She was intense. Oh, I enjoyed her hard-hitting action in ways I cannot describe to you. Oh, should I have another chance to step in the ring, I will not fret to bring the intensity up to the next level. We only barely scratched the surface.
Um, you also, in kind of the recent past, had a match with Willow Nightingale at Bloodstorm Pro. So kind of like with between Jody, between Willow, and it was a banger of a match, by the way. That at Willow Nightingale match. Um, where do they rank in your list of favorite opponents?
I'm not one to choose favorites in anything. I think that there's different levels of intensity of experience, but once we start picking favorites, we start becoming too attached to our experiences. I have to say, although the Jody match was intense, there's something about being able to deliver violence to the light that Willow Nightingale puts into this world that just does something special to my soul. If I could get my hands on her once more.
Question: what are the odds of you cosplaying as Jareth during a match against her?
Though I have an infinity for the voyeurism of costuming, I think I will stick to my own for now.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I just wanted to see you pull off the hair. Um, but all that aside, one thing I do know about you is you are a bit of a student of philosophy.
Indeed.
What is it about philosophy specifically that like inspires you, and how does it apply to your approach with wrestling?
Philosophy encourages you to have a flexibility of mind, to understand that although our thought is limited, what we can be is exponential. And it is with those thoughts that I enter the ring. It is with the desire to become the best self, to experience the most extreme sensations and understand what it means to be alive, to feel, to know oneself in a way that so few could ever know. There are those that watch, and there are those that do. And those of us that can do, it is our duty to do it for those who have to watch. And it's with these philosophies that I step into the ring.
On that note, what does it mean to be endless?
To be endless is that which has always been. And though you may not have always known me in the form that you see before you, there is a part of what I am in each and every one of you. I am the coalescence of all of those things. So there is me inside of you. We are all endless.
I suddenly got the overwhelming urge to watch Twin Peaks again. Well, that was, I like that. I like how you apply it to your ring psychology, as it were. Speaking of inspirations, though, I know personal one for you is the great Sherry Martell. And I really would like to know, what is it about Sherry for you?
Sherry had the ability to embody any given situation she was put in, whether she was competing or speaking, and no matter who she stood next to, her presence improved them. She was an expert at her craft and had a passion that was unparalleled to any before or after.
I do see Sherry had like a specific energy, and I do see you kind of like reflect that sort of energy.
Indeed, she had, as I spoke, the passion, the intensity, the lust for life, as it were. And she reflected that as those who do to those who watch in a meaningful and intense way that stays with people till this day.
Pain, pleasure, indivisible. It's that kind of vibe. Um, he sums you up well. I would say put it on a T-shirt, but that's copyrighted. um, so I don't want to take up too much of your time because I want you to be able to get back to doing whatever it is you do in your free time. Um, but I am curious, how are the cats? I know you have quite a few familiars. I have one myself.
They are all quite well at this time. Yes, we have gathered up to approximately 9, I believe. They are all poor, unfortunate, uncared for souls, left by others, abused, abandoned. We give them shelter, and in exchange, they are familiar.
Mine just takes my breath in the night. But I'm glad they're doing well. 9 is extreme, but must be very cozy. Is there a constant state of purr going on at all times?
Oh, indeed. Indeed. And mealtime is full of song.
And mine just squeaks. Well, Mother, I am very glad you were able to join us here on the verbal assaults from your off-putting lair. Not to say it's off-putting because it's not decorated well or anything like that. Just, overall vibe is a little off-putting. Um, but I do want to thank you for taking some of
You
your
are quite
time.
welcome.
Good luck on December 17th. Not saying you need it. Just don't want to get hit with a kendo stick at any point in time. But it's great to have you on to talk to you. Look forward to seeing what other onslaughts you perpetrate in the ring. And thank you for not even once lightly threatening me. I was warned.
Well, I do appreciate your kind and intelligent approach to interviewing. You see, then there's no need to threaten you. So I'll
Oh, I
see
have to.
you in December.
And I made a good impression, so I won't die. But anyway, folks at home, I just want to remind you that Cold War Christmas is December 17th, so get your tickets now. Link in the show notes, as always. But for myself, for Mother, we'll catch you later.